Nasha Harrison Show here on Intellectual Radio. Thank you for joining me once again. 708 223 8953, 224 800 9719. We are here on Intellectual Radio where you feed your brain. I'm looking forward to speaking with each and every one of you. And of course, thank you for all of the support. Thank you for the support from Up and Going Cleaning Services from Anthony McMath. Thank you for the support that you all have given me from not only that business, but the other businesses that continue to support the show. So, we're going to get started and have a conversation. Before I introduce my guests, I'd like to say a couple of things about what happened a couple of days ago. So, for those of you who have been following me, for those of you who have been following what's been going on in Dalton, um, you know that I'm running for trustee in Dalton, and I'm very happy to announce that we are officially on the ballot. The Rebuild in Dalton party is officially on the ballot, so we can go ahead and move forward with our plans to pursue justice for the people of Dalton by continuing to run for Dalton and doing great things in that village. So, what happened? Someone actually challenged our petition to be on the ballot, which, hey, that's the democratic process. That's not a bad thing. That's what usually happens in politics. When we went initially, I want to say it may have been the 9th of December, maybe a different day, but when we went, there was a continuance, and the continuance was continued to the 16th of December. And when we went, myself and the lady running for mayor, Cassandra Hobson Jordan, we were on the Rebuild in Dalton ticket together. We found out when we went that the person that had petitioned to challenge us actually withdrew their petition. So we are on the ballot and we are moving forward to make things great in Dalton. Um, so anytime that we want to have that conversation, we're going to have that conversation at another time. But I'm happy about it. Just thought I'd share it with you because I know I talked a little bit about it before. So, with that, I'm going to get into why we are actually going to be here talking about what we're going to be talking about. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce my guest on the Denasha Harrison Show, Mr. Tony Hoover. Mr. Tony Hoover, how you doing?
I'm all right. Thank you for having me, too.
Good, good, man. Thank you for joining the show. I kept talking about this guest coming on, kept talking about this guest coming on, and finally you were able to make it here. So I appreciate you taking the time out to make it on the show. I know people got things to do, people got schedules. Sometimes things do not line up, and
Hmm.
finally we were finally able to line this up. So I'm looking forward to having you on the show not only today, but again, we're going to be doing a series of the things that you have to talk about because we have a lot to talk about.
Yes, sir. Yes, we
So let's get into it. So if you could just introduce yourself to the people.
do. My name is, my real name is Antonio McClinton. Social media, Tony Hoover. On Facebook, social media, MacBuddy1. Tony McClinton on Facebook. But I'm one of Larry Hoover's son. Um, and I'm just here to let people know that this man is still in there and they still trying to bury him alive, and that's why I came forward.
Okay, appreciate you coming. And before we go into the specifics, some people actually don't know who Larry Hoover is. So can you explain to some of the people who your father is?
Okay, first of all, I wanted to get this out. When the media calls him a co-founder, a gangster disciple, um, um, gang chief, any type of name there is that's not positive that they put out there. Larry Hoover went to jail in '72. He's still in there, and he paid for his mistakes. I'm just gonna try and brief it up. They got him on drugs and murder, or whatever conspiracy, or whatever they try to hook him over. There's no evidence on what they got him on. They just hold him, basically, for actually no reason at all. Um, when you come down to it, they're holding him illegally. You understand what I'm saying? and hoping that he passes in there. And it's so many layers on top of that, man. Like it'll take days on and weeks to tell you why they're still holding this man that wants to get out, that denounce who he was, denounce that he's gangster disciple, and showed his teachings another way, a positive way, which actually can help your community, can make you be a better family man, actually being a productive citizen of your community, of society today. Isn't that what we're supposed to be doing, though, right? So, yeah, he paid for his mistakes. He made mistakes. He paid for mistakes. But should he have to keep paying for them? Should he have to keep staying in a concrete room no bigger than a bathroom? He's what? An old man. How much harm can he do? You understand what I'm saying? Like,
So why do you feel like coming forth? Because I know you have your blog,
mhm,
and I know there's a lot of people that are advocating for the release of your father.
mhm.
Why do you feel like it's important for you specifically to continue to talk about um, why you feel like he should be released? Why do you feel like coming forth on this show is important?
Because I don't want you to forget about him. If he wasn't him, I wouldn't be who I am. I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't even exist. So that's my main reason. So I can actually see my father face to face, hug my father. I talked to him one time in my life, and I made my mistake, and I was going through a lot of things where I couldn't do what he told me to do because I didn't want to bring trouble to them when I was in trouble, when I was out there doing what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? So I had to clean myself up in order to come to the family. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to bring my troubles to the family. And that's why, and when I was sitting there and I'm trying to clean myself up, I'm doing my homework on him. I'm finding out who my father is. I'm watching YouTubes, I'm watching movies, I'm listening to the old cats telling me who he is. He's a man of honor. The only reason why he fell into what he was doing was trying to feed his family. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, what is he supposed to do if the system was already designed for him to fail?
Hmm.
He had to find a way. He had to feed all his brothers and sisters, and his mama doing what she can. So he made a way.
So again, for those who don't know, did your father grow up in Chicago?
He was from Mississippi, but
Hmm.
he grew up in Chicago.
Hmm.
Yeah, he grew up in Chicago. And like once again, like I said, our neighborhoods are all designed with poverty. Some will make it, some won't. You can't tell me back in the day you could go to um, other places in Chicago that's predominantly white and they had the same opportunities as a black neighborhood. So it's like our neighborhoods are designed since back then for poverty to keep the system going.
Well, Chicago is on record for being one of the most segregated cities in America, especially back then. So that's not you know um, hyperbole. That's a fact.
Hmm.
So with that, uh, as you mentioned, the opportunities for non-blacks was not the same.
It's not,
It was not,
and it's
and
still
it's
not.
still not. So with that, you talk about how your father had to do what he needed to do uh, for his family.
Hmm.
Uh, so
For his community also.
and for his community, which brings me to my next point. You all over here in what I was about to say. So that was my segue, but you
Because
got it.
you have to mention that part. You have to mention that part because they was feeding neighborhoods. They was feeding their neighborhoods. They was helping out a lot of people too.
Tell me about growth and development.
Growth and development actually, Gangster Disciple is not growth and development.
So there is a difference.
This is Gangster Disciple. This is GND, growth and development. Growth and development is a strip down, a positive movement, a strip down like a detox from growth and development. Growth and development is everybody. You could be a vice lord, you could be a stone, you could be a doctor, lawyer. Is growth and development is a positive lifestyle of living. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
what he did, yeah, he made his, he made he they made Gangster Disciple, but growth and development is like, look here, now it's time for y'all to grow up. Now it's time for y'all to be a productive person in society. Put down the guns and drugs, make a way for your people, help your community, and walk upward, walk straight, walk right,
Upright. Mm-hmm.
upright. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? But somewhere down the line, it got tainted
Mm-hmm.
that growth and development is gangster disciple. Gangster disciple is growth and development. No, it's not. It's not. It's everybody. It's a positive movement. And that's why they don't want to let them go. Because they're
Mm-hmm.
still trying to attach the two. If gangster disciple was growth and development, if you had status in gangster disciple, tell me your status in growth and development. And I promise you, you can't. You
Mm-hmm.
can't. There's no big eyes, there's no little U's.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody is one love.
Some people say that growth and development. um, I'm just being the adversary
I
now.
hear you. It's
Don't.
it's
Yeah. Some people are saying that um, GDs tried to do the same thing that the vice lords tried to do when they went from vice lords to the conservative vice lord movement. But a lot of people were blaming vice lords for using the conservative vice lord movement as a front.
mm,
Now, they were doing wonderful things in the community, but that's how the authorities labeled them. To this day, people want to say that G&D
mhm.
is nothing but a front for gangster disciples. So, what would you say to those people who are trying to continue to put those two organizations together?
See, and that goes on to with the people that don't comprehend what they're reading, and that goes on to the media, the newspapers, the news, giving that narrative out there like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, like I said from the beginning, they still labeling him a gang chief, and he said it in the paper. I denounced this, and people say, "Oh, is it for?" Okay, tell me this: if you've been locked up since '72 and it's 2024, use your brain. I would denounce that too. Like, man, I don't want no part of it. Let me go. Let me see my kids, my grandkids, my great grandkids, my mom, my wife, my. You know what I'm saying? Let
Mm-hmm.
me out of here. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I don't want no part. And he's sincere with it. Wouldn't you be?
Mm-hmm.
Locked up all that time, would you want to still be part of some of people that you don't even know, that's hollering your name
Mm-hmm.
and keeping you in jail, and they say that's the reason. And these people are so blind that it comes on the news. Gang chief, Larry Hoover and all that, and they still on social media. Chief, oh chief, and he gets on social media through his kids and tell like, look, man,
This
this
ain't
ain't
that.
that.
Right.
Take the pitchforks, take the 6-point stars, take all of that, and you take that over there and leave me over here.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't want to let it go. So are you part of the program? What's keeping them in
Keeping
there?
them inside.
Are you going to be part of the solution and leave him separate the two?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why they're saying, oh, it's just a front and this and that, because some people just don't want to let it go. Some people don't want to do right. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And it's the same people that have the power to to change things.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it looks like y'all really don't want him out.
Mm-hmm.
Because if so, even comprehending the blueprint is just a lifestyle of living. It's not hard. And that's why they got it so confused, because I get so mad and I talk to my partner like, bro, this like the way of life of being a legal, productive citizen in your community, and they still don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is stripped down. Okay, Growth and development is a strip down from G&D. Forget all the bad things that I taught you. This is all the good things that you should know so you don't end up where I'm at, where he's at, doing life. Because this is where they want you at. Because, like, I got a buddy. He did 20-some years. He did the numbers on them keeping you in jail. It was 700-some million because he did 20-some years.
Mm.
So how much money are they getting for keeping him in there?
Mm.
And he been in there since 72.
Wow.
That might be one of those layers.
Mm-hmm.
We getting so much money off of him, we don't want to let him go.
Mm-hmm.
But we're willing to break laws to keep him in here in front of everybody's face, to keep him in here. And nobody's not saying nothing. Nobody could do anything because the system was not made for us. You know what I'm saying? We know how to maneuver, but it wasn't designed for us. You know what I'm saying? Everything, in order for the system to work for us, it has to be eradicated and started over, just like the school system. Other than that, we're just maneuvering in their world. You know what I'm saying? And when they get tired of you, what they gonna do? When they get tired of you talking free this, unite this, no, what they gonna do? History proves itself.
Well, we've seen what happens.
Yeah.
So
you're gonna be scared to keep screaming or go home.
We talked about Fred Hampton and what happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, Fred Hampton Jr. is right in the studio right next to us. Shout out to Fred Hampton Jr. and his family and what they continue to advocate for. And I do understand that he has advocated for growth and development.
Mm-hmm.
He does
you
often.
Know why?
Mm-hmm.
Because I noticed when I started studying, and I started studying my dad, I started studying all the political prisoners. Even though whatever sign you throw up, Vice Lord, GD, eventually, if you get it, it's gonna go to this.
That's right.
We hit a fight. You don't never see me throw up anything now but this.
Let's talk about growth and development's affiliation with the Black Panther Party, because I know we talked about that before we came on. So let's discuss that. Let's even discuss the role with the Black Panther Party and GDs before the guns and drugs and COINTELPRO took over that movement. In relation to what the Black Panther Party was doing, let's talk about our city, Chicago. In relation to what they were doing, what was the vision supposed to be?
The vision, okay. All the older brothers and the OGs, their vision originally is to help their neighborhood. The vision, I can't speak on the vision for Gangsta Disciple because I'm not that.
That's right, not qualified.
But I can speak on the vision for Gangsta Disciple. I mean, G&D, Growth and Development. Growth and Development is supposed to have been right up under the Black Panthers, the next movement. You understand what I'm saying? We supposed to be the next movement with Black Panthers. That's what G&D is. You know what I'm saying? But it got thrown off on down to people not and manipulating the blueprint and not and trying to use it for their own gain and trying to just keep it as Gangsta Disciple and not really. If you understand growth and development, you would see it on how somebody move. Like my big brother David Barksdale, helping people coming out the penitentiary, helping them get jobs, helping them stay out of jail. You have a plan for the people. You're a public servant. You know what I'm saying? Like I teach my daughter when we first came around, hey, we giving out food. We going around the neighborhood throwing food in the truck, just popping the trunk out west, giving out milk and everything. You know what I'm saying? We service to the people. That's how you get your blessings back. You know what I'm saying? So growth and development is to help our neighborhood and to correct the things that not only just Gangsta Disciple, but every organization that did wrong. It's like I'm telling you, like we have to do better as people. You know what I'm saying? Because if we already got an enemy on our back, we can't keep being our own enemy.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? At some time, our people got to wake up. You got to detox your mind. You know what I'm saying?
Is growth and development really active right now as we speak? Was it more active before? Is it more active now? Where are we at with it right
It's
now?
always been active because it's in
Mm-hmm.
your heart.
Mm-hmm.
If you're trying to be a productive citizen in this world, growth and development is just giving you the tools to bring that out of you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Get a job. The new hustle is a job.
Mm-hmm.
It's not working these corners.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because all that is that they gave us, and that's what the blueprint is saying. Hey, bro, this a frame. Don't fall for it. My dad trying to beat the frame they giving them because they designed this frame for you to be where you at. It's a mousetrap. Don't go for the cheese. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? And that's what growth and development is in layman's terms. To break it down, not we switched over to G&D and we out here still selling drugs and we gangsters. No, we're not. We growth and development. That's it. When you come over here, you strip down. You strip everything you learned down, and you just growth and development.
Mm-hmm.
And we're here to help our people, save our kids, and be productive men and women in society.
Mm-hmm. So it's a mindset and a way of life.
It's a mindset and a way of life. And until you detox your mind from all the criminal things that you learned, you're not going to get it. You're not going to comprehend something sitting in front of you. Just like the devil, somebody that's possessed not going to really comprehend the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to see what's in front of you to save your life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So in layman's terms, you know what I'm saying? Man, this is to better your life.
Are there resources out there in our city that are partnering up with the growth and development movement that you know of? Like you mentioned the brother earlier.
David Boxer, and that
Mm-hmm.
and again too, and he structured something that we also part of called the Big We.
Say again.
It's called the Big We.
The big we.
The Big We is really growth and development,
Mm-hmm.
but the Big We is showing it can't be tainted. The Big We is showing that okay, everybody could be this. We're here. We're here to better our people, our kids, and our community, and focus on the youth because that's where it's really at.
Mm-hmm.
Growth and development is really not for the older cats to teach the youth because the old man was basically focused on the youth because that's who they scared of.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They're scared of our youngest because they have no fear. So we get them and they out here acting crazy. So if we change that mindset to this instead of this, you think they ain't scared of that? If they know these youngers out here doing this and don't care,
Mm-hmm.
what if we get their mind to do this?
That's right.
Think of how powerful we'll be then if we could just get them. That'll motivate the older people to do right. So that's why you always got to focus on the seed and not the weed. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
So yeah,
We talked about that. We talked about the fruits and the roots.
mm-hmm,
And I've talked on the show many times about the fruits and the roots. Same thing, the seed and the weed.
mm-hmm.
There's a difference on what you should focus on. You spoke about the individuals that's out there that needs that mindset change. And before coming on air, we talked about not only focusing on those who need that mindset change, but focusing on those who are not yet in that pipeline to do wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So, for your organization or for organizations like yours, um, what are your thoughts about the how tos? How do you reach those who have not gotten involved with the streets yet?
That never have gotten involved. But
Mm-hmm.
see, I used to try and reach everybody,
Mm-hmm.
but I only want to reach those
That are
who
out
want to be reached.
who want to be reached. There you go.
You're gonna waste so much time trying to reach everybody. Like, no, I ain't trying to hear that. Oh man, whatever. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see.
Mm-hmm.
It's not okay, all right, because you're gonna see.
Right.
You keep doing what you're doing. I've been there.
The streets are undefeated.
Yeah, every time.
The streets are
It's
undefeated.
just a matter of time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The guy used to raise me. I used to never listen. He said, "Man, all this got for you is 3 squares and a cop."
Mm-hmm.
He used to always tell me that. And what I get, 3 squares and a cop.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily, I was just so grateful that a judge, before he retired, he wiped away all my felonies, and I was just like, man, I'll just walk away from everything.
Wow.
There's no reason to be stupid again.
Mm-hmm.
That's stupid. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Keep doing the same thing over again and keep getting the same results. So that's how I look at the people out here. Like until I woke up and I look back at myself, but I ain't never stood on a corner. You know what I'm saying? I look back at myself like these people keep trying to trap me, and I can't keep doing the same thing and keep getting what I'm getting.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you got to say, bro, either you crazy or you just that dumb. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's one or the other. So
The lure of the street is a very powerful thing, and I believe that a lot of our youth are in the streets for many reasons because, as I said earlier, the streets are undefeated. The only thing that's consistent is change, and the streets don't wait for anybody.
mm-mm,
So you can go play in the streets or go away for a while.
mm-hmm,
When you come back, the streets are not the same. The streets don't wait for nobody.
mm-mm,
The streets don't like to owe anybody anything.
mm-mm.
You owe the streets. And so, with that, I think that one of the many ways to reach the people in the streets, unfortunately, is when you experience loss,
Mm.
uh, when you experience heartache, when you experience hardship. That's one way on how you reach people in the streets. An alternative to that is continuing to communicate, telling people about your situations, your circumstances. So
Mm.
hopefully they don't have to go through what you went through. Hopefully they are listening. Hopefully they they're doing it for reasons that are out of necessity, not because they want to be in the streets, but because they have no other alternatives.
I understand. I've been there.
Right. And so we need to find a way as black men in Chicago and black men in this country, how do we offer an alternative?
Well, that really
It's a lot of work.
it's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
But then these politicians got to start putting their money in the community where
Mm-hmm.
it belongs, not in their pocket,
Okay.
to give us more resources to get the kids, to help the kids. Don't tear down the boys' club,
Mm-hmm.
rebuild it, remodel it.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was growing up, and well, I never went there, but all the kids, all the kids was in the boys' club. I was in
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't a boys' club, it was a center. But when we had
Yeah,
nowhere to
like
go, we
community
was
center or rec
yeah.
center or
They
something like
took
that.
all of them out there. They took them away. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because we want your kids in the street doing all this killing, so we could put a number and a price tag on their back coming through this system and keep them being a cash cow.
Well, you talked about the seed and the weed, seed, weed, root, fruit, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's one way to look at it. How do you allow elected officials to take something away from you that's good for your community? And my answer to that is this: lack of involvement,
Mm-hmm.
lack of exposure,
Mm-hmm.
lack of consistency, and lack of communication. And let me explain what I mean by that. If those who are in the community with children are not involved with not only the day to day concerning their education, but the political process on the local level, then it's easy to not fund this and put this in my pocket because nobody's watching or paying attention. Well, you got to get up at 4 in the morning to catch the 4:30, green line to wherever you got to go. At the time, that's what it was, to go work at Real Lemon or go work at, wherever you got to work. And you working as a machinist and you not coming home till
Mm-hmm.
7:30, 8 o'clock, or maybe you get off at 6, but it's gonna take you 2 hours to get home. So from sun up to sundown, you have these brothers in our households that are trying to put food on the table in a system that was not really designed for you to come up.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're out the household all day. That uncle may not be there, that cousin may not be there, that other father figure may not be there. And oh, by the way, your mom is working too somewhere. So you might be
Mm-hmm.
a latchkey kid. At the end of the day, it's really easy to pass legislations and laws that your parents would have to attend on behalf of the children.
Oh, they do it all the time. The
Right.
government with all these distractions on boob tube, and
Distractions.
they
There you
they
go.
changing laws of doing while they worried about P Diddy and the flying drones. What they really doing back
Right. And
there?
so at the end of the day, when you have the process to keep these type of things in the community for us, our recreational centers, and our boys clubs, our different activities that require a vote. It's not too hard for an alderman or representative. I'm not going to just pick on aldermans and things like that, but whoever's repping the people, whoever got voted into office or elected in these different places or appointed to these different places, is what I meant. It's really easy to slip some things into the pocket.
But they're not the first ones who did it.
Oh, of course they not.
This like Chicago. They just came on. They came along for the train ride. They had to get in line because this old machine been going for how long, since the Irish, since the dailies, and it's still going. What I'm saying?
My point is that people need to pay more attention.
Exactly.
That's my point.
And a part of the academic acrobats, which is America, the distraction is the TV. The distraction is the sports. The distraction is the black community where P. Diddy did all this. But while they're putting all this on TV and the news distracting, you have to find out, okay, what are they putting this up here for? What they really doing back there?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And which
going law
on?
They want to change that they don't want us to know about?
And what's going on in the meantime while all this is happening? What is it that's going on? As much as you see things going on in the media, what's happening, in the undercurrent, behind the scenes? Because just because we have this distraction doesn't mean that other things are not happening. But when we pay attention to the distractions while other things are happening, we miss our moments. We miss our opportunities. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go to a quick musical break. And when we come back, we're going to continue with this discussion. We're going to talk more about the focus on how we can better help change our communities for good. So you're listening to the Denasha Harrison Show here on Intellectual Radio. We're going to take a quick musical break, and then we'll be right back shortly. Thank you for joining me. Talk to you in a minute.
You ain't got enough money to buy my soul. Ain't strong enough to stop me. I'm out of control. This the matrix, I'm Neo. I know that I know. I am that I am. That's why I speak so bold. On the verge of losing hope, I know where to go. Switch my style from singing vocals to magical flows. Study the streets a little closer. One with the ghetto. Got wise as I got older. Unloaded the metal. New millennium rebel. After that federal dollar. Balance the world on my shoulders. I know my soldiers will follow me at war. Cause kids still dying in the streets at war. On the block running from the police at war. With the US, this ain't the Middle East at war. With the problems in my own community in the store. It's the only way to fight an enemy. Lord, save my father from this bottom of Hennessy. With more can I give? I'm giving all of me. And for real, it's only getting hotter for me. Harder to see and harder to breathe. And there's only one remedy. I gotta be smarter than my enemies.
In the water, wade in the water, children, now wade in the water. God is full trouble.
I'm being chased by demons that triple team, exposed to false religions. I'm hated by jealous niggas that don't wanna see me living my life scar from living hope. Pulling up papers, I'm chasing paper, no holes barred. Peace of mind, and yet divine, my heart's cold. Got no friends, my last road dog turned me in. The cost of war would never change. Who takes the blame for bad decisions? So many missing from following orders, cause he ain't giving. Got the world tripping. They pushing prison at us young niggas. That's why we having high triggers, won't let the war get us. I'm not alone, but the way that I feel, it's like millions out the clutching this steel, roaming the field. I am what I am, and best believe I'm following me. A guinea pig, I refuse to be. The streets got a hold on so many lost souls and sold. I pray to God he starts letting me go. No, I'm not a fool, and I'm definitely not following rules. Hoping that the Lord pulls me through. When I'm at the gates, standing before Christ, and he's flipping through the pages in the book of life. Final judgments being made, as he look in my eyes. All I can vision is the wrong that I've done in my life. Close my eyes as I look back at the sky to puzzle pieces. Demons to try to stop me, and all I wanted was freedom. Better living for my people. Did you ever hear my cry? In my mind, I never understood why we were born to die. Die.
Welcome back to the Denasha Harrison Show here on Intellectual Radio, where we feed our brain 24/7. A lot of shows on this platform that's talking a lot of good things, and I just want you all to know that there are over 50 50 shows on this platform that we call Intellectual Radio, and we are all one big family. If the Denasha Harrison show is a show that you can get behind, please do so. But there are other shows that are worthy of your attention. So please feel free to subscribe. Go to intellectualradio.com. Go ahead and subscribe to this platform and support those other shows that are on Intellectual Radio. So for those of you who have just joined me, for those of you who came back, thank you for coming back. But for those of you who have just joined me, we're talking with Tony Hoover, and we're talking about community. We're talking about his father, Larry Hoover. We're talking about how we can move forward in our communities, and we're going to keep this conversation going. So, again, thank you for joining me. I see that you're trying to reconnect on that live. So, as you deal with that, I want to go into trying to finish the conversations that we were having. During the break, and usually what happens during the break, we take a break for whatever reason, but normally on a break, I'm asking uh, how my guest is feeling, how you doing, and if there's anything more that they want to cover, or if they want to talk about something specific that we haven't covered yet. I just want to do a wellness check to make sure that they feel like we on the right track, and that we keep moving in the direction that we feel good moving in. Right. So um, I want to get back into it. So for before the break, we were talking about community, talking about how to move forward with some things. So you good?
Yeah, I'm good. I was
Okay. So
watching that.
with um with the break, the question that I asked is what more you wanted to talk about. So let's talk about all those people who are doing more harm than good concerning your father's cause, concerning your father's purpose. Let's talk about those folks. What do you want to say to those people that are doing more harm than good?
Well, first of all, they have to realize Larry Hoover's not your chief. He's a father. He's not your chairman. He's a grandfather. He's a husband. He's a beacon of his community. And you think that you carrying on his legacy, keep screaming Larry Hoover, this and that while you doing selling drugs, shooting, gang banging, and you digging him deeper in the hole than he already is. Because if you realize, if you paid attention, social media, and they already label him as a menace to society, a gang chief, or whatever derogatory or labels they put on him.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And the people that doing more harm than good is making it no better. You know what I'm saying? You're doing exactly what they label him as. He's in the system. They put him in the system, a rehabilitation system, correctional system. But they don't even trust their own system to even let him on the streets.
52 years.
So do you even trust your own structure of rehabbing, recorrectional center, or you don't trust your own system?
Yeah.
Because you won't even let an old man on the street. He's not thinking of G&D. I'm not gangster disciple. He's I'm even want to say G&D at this point. He's focused on coming home to his kids, his wife, spending the rest of his days on the street, not in a bathroom size cell.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But if you keep doing what you're doing, he gonna keep getting what he getting. You giving him ammunition, you giving him things to talk about to keep him to keep the state for saying, no, we don't want to let him out because of this. Because this dude is pushing growth and development. He got caught with drugs and guns and all that, or these 52 people hollering GD and they got caught. He don't have nothing to do with that.
Right. They blaming that on your father every chance they get.
What the blame should come on to, if they trying to blame him, blame your parents. Because you was the parents. Your parents had you before he did. And how did you get to him?
Mm.
If they blame him, the parents should be in stake too. They should be blamed too as well. You know what I'm saying? But if you're really following him, if you really understand what he's saying of growth and development, you would stop doing the things you doing to change, to let him out so they can let him out of jail. So they don't have a reason to keep saying, oh, gangster disciple or chief or whatever the media be saying about him that's not right.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You giving them the reason to.
52 years is long enough. Political prisoners are all over the world. We got a lot of political prisoners that's sitting in the county. And I believe that your father does qualify as a
And that's
political
what
prisoner.
I've been saying. I've changed the way that I address him because that's a political prisoner. You know what I'm saying? That's a political prisoner. Anytime, if he's my Mandela, that's who he is to me. You know what I'm saying? Anytime they break the law to hold you in there for no apparent reason, like no apparent because you paid for your crimes over and over again.
Mm.
They didn't let axe murderers out of jail.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And then Trump made the law for the first step law, and everybody that was on his rap sheet, they didn't get out. But you break the law to hold him in there.
Mm.
You breaking the actual law, and that's where it comes down to that the law wasn't made for us.
Mm.
If it's not made by us, it's not made for us. It's
Mhm.
gonna hurt us. It's going to hurt us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. So, again, we talked about growth and development,
Mm-hmm.
and you mentioned another organization. Can you mention that organization again and tell us what's
It's
going
the
on
big
with that?
we.
The Big We.
I'm growth and development, but I'm also big. Big we is the layman terms of growth and development. You had to separate so they can actually see visually the vision if you can't comprehend the vision.
Mm.
So David Barksdale, Lil Dave, we call him Lil Dave. He separated it. Like, look here, this is what we're gonna do. And the big we is growth and development, and it's growing. It's growing rapidly. You know what I'm saying? State to state. And everybody's doing their part to the community. You can turn on the big we. You ain't heard the big we out here and shooting and no, they out here feeding their community, holding events, Christmas drives, Thanksgiving drives all over the world.
School drives, book
School
bag drives.
drives. Even the Nation of Islam in North Carolina, I believe in North Carolina, is stepping in and helping out with the big we.
Mm-hmm.
Florida, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And this is the big we is growth and development. It's the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
but we're showing you visually. So because some people can't comprehend, it's everybody.
Right. Right.
In order for us to survive, to stop the crime, to stop all this, everything that's going on, you have to have unity. At some point in time, you got to have it because that's the name of the game, separation.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? As long as they keep us divided, we're going to keep fighting. We can't come to a table and talk with each other and try and settle this because little Laura got shot through the window on the next block.
Mm-hmm.
So this gives opportunity, the big we gives opportunity to show the people that don't understand G&D what it really is, because it's a lot of us doing this. It's even the old heads, it's like all of them from different nations with it. Like we with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's not going to be tainted because you got to come with you getting screen coming in. You're not going to come in and take this with gang banging, selling drugs, or any of that. You know what I'm saying? Because we're really for the youth. This is our future.
So tell me, if somebody wanted to be a part of the big we or growth and development, and we understand, again, it's a mindset, it's a way of life, it's a state of mind. But if somebody wanted to physically join, how do they get in touch with someone to be a part of that movement?
I would say as far as the big we, you can hit me on my inbox and you have to fill out an application.
Okay. So tell the people how they can do that.
You can hit me on my inbox on Facebook, Tony Hoover. You'll be screened application if you're accepted by everybody else, and you got to tell what you're doing, what you doing for your community. How can you help your community? How can you be a positive movement with the big we?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And what are you doing where you could bring something in a pot that
That's going to benefit.
Right, not only yourself but all of us.
Right.
It could be an idea.
Right.
It could be a job where you can employ somebody. It could be even, man, I'm pushing this on social media so we could bring more positive people to this movement.
Positive people, resources,
ideas. Everything. How can you help us?
That's right.
Or help us save our community? Because at this point in time, I know we focus on the youth.
Okay.
And until the youth see us not fighting, not being more involved in our community, they're not going to participate. You know what I'm saying? And also too, like I said, this boils down to the political structure that hits the street, because there's no money, there's no jobs for these kids. In order for you to come to these kids and say, hey, you want to be a part of something that's a positive movement, get off this corner, whatever, you know what they're gonna say? You got a job. You can't come to these shorties with no open hands and like, look, we're gonna push this movement on positive, because some of these people out here, some of these kids out here for different reasons, man.
Right.
Like out here just to have a roof over their head so they don't have to sleep in no garage at night.
Right. They need some tangibles. You know, they need to see the movement physically in action so that they can see themselves in the movement.
Yeah, but you get, and at the same time, you can't judge everybody the same, because like we said,
that's right,
they out here for different reasons. So you might get the knucklehead, like he got a good home, good upbringing, and they're like, no, I'm just out here in the streets. We're not gonna focus on you right now,
right?
Because at this point in time, with the shorties, it takes mental detoxing. I want to focus on the one that's out here trying to survive, not make a living out of this. So when I come to this shorty, like, look, man, here, well, open, here's a job over here making $25 an hour. You could go over here and get this job here. You need a ride or whatever. He might just need that little push to help him out. He really don't even want to be out there.
There's a phrase called comprehensible manhood. And comprehensible manhood, you know, in short, you know, there's so many layers. You talked about layers before. There's so many layers to us as people, as human beings. There's so many sides to us as human beings. Before I talked about, in my last show, I talked about who you are is not necessarily what you are. And when people come with so much baggage, trying to do better, they need to see themselves in the movement. They need to see themselves in the solution. They need to see themselves in the system that they're trying to become a part of in order to change another system that put them where they are in the first place. And so when you talk about the comprehensive, I'll just say, because, you know, our ladies, our women are going through it as well. So comprehensive development. It's important that when people see your movement, when they become a part of your movement, that it has something to offer them better than where they are coming from. And what I would like to do is, as we wrap up the show, give your information one more time on how somebody can be a part of what your movement is. And if you're available when I'm on the show again, I want to continue to talk about this conversation because there's so much to unpack. And I think it's very important that we stay focused and stay in this vein concerning this topic on how we can better our communities. This is what the Denasha Harrison show is about. This is what this platform is about, among other things, you know, but this is mainly what this platform is about, making sure that our communities understand what they can do or where they can go to make their environments better environments. So go ahead and give the information for people.
I just want to say something first. Okay. I may get a lot of naysayers because a lot of people know the immediate brothers. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who say who I am or who you not. I know who I am. First of all, don't focus on the messenger. Focus on the message, because that's how you're not comprehending and missing the message because you being focused on the messenger. The messenger gonna come in all type of forms. He might come in an old man that lived out of can, and you're not gonna get the message because you focus on who he is and not what he's saying.
Well said.
So, in order to reach me, you can reach me on Facebook, inbox me, Tony Hoover, MacBuddy7, Instagram. That's pretty much it. And I'm an answer. I'm an answer, but it's only for the right thing, positive things, no judgment. If you got any idea how we can make an impact on your community or how I can help your community, if you want me to show up and hand out food on the truck, me and my daughter will pop out because that's what we do. It's like a high to us.
Okay.
To feed our community and give back or pull up to an old lady house and unload food to, it's something that we do. So if we're not doing anything else productive, we're at food pantries handing out food and being productive in not just our community, but other communities too.
So we're going to get into that the next time you come on the show, which I'm hoping is the next time I'm on air. So the next time we come to the show, we're going to talk more about that community service, more about those pantries, and I appreciate you coming on. So
thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely, and I'm looking forward to you coming on again. It's interesting. You said something similar to what I said on my last show. It's not about who you think I am. It doesn't matter who you think I am. I know who I am, and the fact that I know who I am, you think what you want to think. At the end of the day, if you know who you are, no judgment, you know where you're going, then it's going to be a better day for not only you but other people. So again, who you are is not necessarily what you are as far as what you've gone through. So when you can match who you are and what you are together, moving down the road, then the healing takes place, positivity takes place, communities change, lives change, unity comes. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming on the Denasha Harrison Show. For those of you who have watched, for those of you who are on live, thank you for joining the Denasha Harrison Show. I wish everyone happy holidays. Next Wednesday, we will not be here, so we will be somewhere else for the holidays. Merry Christmas. God bless all of you who are listening. We will see you the following Wednesday here on the Denasha Harrison Show, Intellectual Radio. And as I always say, if the lever don't break and the creek don't rise, we're going to see you next time when I'm sitting here on the Denasha Harrison Show. So thank you for the love and support. Thanks for joining me. Right. All right, man. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah.